Now I've just come from the War Memorial Gardens here. There's that Lowman building. Here's St. James Episcopal. Me and Kath, Kelly King, or else it was Joshua Mobus, came and they had a Christmas cantata at this church one time. It was very lovely and we sang there. That was the only time I've been in that church. But I have been in it. It's very lovely. This is the Casements. This is the winter home of John D Rockefeller. And he was your oil tycoon. And of course, when you go through this tour, this is the building that after the tour, I went to the bathroom a couple of times. I left my key in there and got locked inside of here because they all left. Is that my friend? Hang on, this is the friend I was talking to. Yoo-hoo! Yoo-hoo! It's me! Hi, it's me! I got my key out of there. Aren't you, Mark?
Yeah,
this is Mark. I think he would be a wonderful John D Rockefeller impersonator. My car was here. You know what happened? I went to the bathroom several times. I left that key in the bathroom. And they all, remember how they all left?
When did they come?
The next morning.
You had to stay
I
out?
called and called. Remember how we called and called?
And the cops didn't bother you?
The cop did bother me. I went and slept over on the, that thing over there. On the stage at 3 o'clock. He didn't run any plates on anything, but he said, honey, you got to get out of this thing because it's not allowed. And he made me go up here to the bus station, which was even, he said, it's not safe over here. I'm like, it's a lot safer over here than out there where the people are. So I had to go over this.
At least the car didn't get towed.
At least the car didn't tow. Everything else, and the ambulance gave me that blanket. And I'm sorry, did you come back looking for me to?
Yeah.
Because you said you were going to. Okay, I'm sorry.
You were gone, and the car was here, and I just figured, well, you something. Oh well.
I still think you make a good John D Rockefeller.
Yeah, I take the money anyway. I'm heading down to the beach, Rita.
I'll see you again, though.
Right.
Okay, I'll see you again.
Glad everything works for you.
Bye. He is so cool. I think he's the funniest critter. He was over here in the park when I came out of the museum, and I got to talking with him because he was so funny. And he's like, he knows different. Wait, now I'm in the. Now I'm in the. You know what? Can't park here sign place. I came out of this door. And he was sitting here at the park, and we got to chit-chatting about place and history. And next thing I knew, everybody was gone that locked up the place, and I'm standing there with no key in my hand. That's just the way. I think it was the ghost of John D Rockefeller who wanted me to do some checking out the place, because you know what happened? That night, I walked over here. Now, there's the Granada Bridge. I remember when that thing was built, but I don't really remember, but I don't know, maybe I was 9 or 10, but I remember it was a different bridge before that one. And so I was walking around this park that night, and I was like, something doesn't look right. Well, the first thing is the stage wasn't here a long time ago. So, look at all this concrete. What I'm noticing is everywhere that doesn't look right, there is an awful lot of concrete. And I've heard of concrete jungle before, but I'm talking about ridiculous amounts. And when you talk about that Lehigh concrete place and all the stuff in Ormond, you know, all the plantations and all this weird stuff happening, I think it's all related. And now that we're living in modern times, I don't mind saying that. Look at all this railing. Everywhere you go, there's fences and railing. So somebody's into aluminum big time, because this stuff feels like aluminum or tin. Look at the massive amounts of that thing way down there, that it's like a bench thing. That's all concrete. All this fencing here. Now look over yonder underneath the bridge. they've got that all bulwarked to where the other night, all this water that was coming up, it was stagnant because it can't curl around. That juts out a lot more than it used to. And it used to be natural shoreline, and the water can flow differently. When you start putting up walls and all this other stuff, the water has to go somewhere, and it sits stagnant. This is where I was sleeping that night, right here. And at 3 o'clock in the morning, this is a stage. They just had a music thing that weekend. This is a stage. If you're on the stage, you'd be singing. Let's think of a good song. Imagine there's no heaven. I wonder if you can. Remember that song? No, below us, a brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will live as one. Remember that song? Well, I just performed it on this stage. My first performance at the Casements. This is the old Ormond Hotel, which they conquered that down a long time ago and built this monstrosity. Nobody wanted it at the time. It's still ugly. Nobody lives there, and nobody cares if it was there or not. This part, I have a feeling, I found 2 pictures of my friend Sawgrass, who is a Seminole reenactor, and he's also original, authentic, a Seminole, half Seminole. And the other part of their family is German, I believe. He has 2 pictures in there, and I asked about them, how come they haven't had more powwows lately, and they said that he's doing more private things. I don't like to get in people's mouths and speak for them, but it seems like to me he's probably like, well, where are we going to do the powwow? There's nothing out here natural anymore. Me and Susie, I had a girlfriend Susie way back in the 80s, and she had a boyfriend Kaylee. And one night for his birthday, I think it was, we decided to have a date night for them too, and have a candlelight romantic dinner under one of these trees. But at the time, see, I don't recall all this extra stuff. It was more like just grass, and it was more like wildflower grass. Wild grass of some kind, more. And we picked this place under the stars, and we put our candles and stuff, and I served the dinner. It was one of my first catering. I was trying to see, could I do this type of catering type of stuff? And it was for Kaylee and Susie right here. But you see how everything is much more manicured and high maintenance. It's not what people really want. We want a little nature somewhere. And they're like, oh, there's the sea, that's nature, and here's some plants, that's nature. But it's not growing naturally. Look at all these yard furniture everywhere you go. I mean, in our day, we sat down blankets. You've got the fish pond, but then you've got this fish thing. It's just called unnecessary garden spending. So the cop came to me and he said, you have to leave out of here, you're not allowed to sleep in the park. And I kind of knew that because the city, I got the ordinance, I think, that says all this junk on it. But where am I supposed to sleep? As a lady, you're supposed to sleep, where you feel comfortable. So he said, go out there where the bus stop is. I'm like, he said, so it's for your own safety. I'm like, I was safe and fine until you woke me up. But he was nice enough. So I walked over all that way. Wore me out. This is why I'm worn out. If I seem like I'm poking around like an old boop, I have flat feet, and these feet, the top of your arch isn't muscled correctly. And so it hurts the top of your feet. And therefore your back is thrown off because your ankles and feet aren't walking right on the surface. And it wears you out. I'm out of breath all the time because my legs hurt so bad. My feet hurt. I'm out of breath. This over here are the tennis courts where Jan Jones used to play tennis. I worked on her murals at her house. Jan and Bill Jones, apparently they own those beautiful bars down on Granada that I've been going to of late. The Roosevelt or Rose Hall or Rose City, or it's a Victorian bar down there, which I absolutely love that place. They do have good vision. That's why I like them so much. Bill Jones especially has the vision, and Jan is more like the supporter of, Bill's projects, I guess. And she used to do tennis tournaments, and she'd win. Now she was at what happened? She had her 40th birthday, and we all went to that. I just thought I'd show you. This is the casement. Can I walk over here to the... There's the keys. Don't lose those. I'm going to try to... I'm really tired. This is the casements. And this has been here for many, 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 many years. I guess when I was a little girl, maybe 6 or 7, it was in shambles. And then they came and fixed it up, and there was buildings here where the parking lot is, and that's all torn down. Built in 1913 by Reverend Harwood Huntington, not related to the Harwoods. There's some other stuff. What I noticed on the inside is some that the sewing machine people, I guess John D Rockefeller knew them. One or two interesting things up in the room about the sewing machines. And well, it's in there, but I've already forgotten what it is. It's either the DuPonts or something, which shows you how intertwined all these plantations and the beginnings of Ormond Beach and Daytona and all these little towns are connected. They were northern, at one time, spas, and former home to John D Rockefeller. Now, he had the Standard Oil, but what it says inside of here is that this is called casements, this type of work here. It's usually open, they close at 5, whatever. And all these gates, this stays open, it doesn't lock the door. That gate there doesn't ever close or lock. Now up in this room, let's see, it's either this room here, yeah, it's this room here is where there's a desk overlooking this window, overlooking the river. And that particular, this room here and that particular room, I had strange feelings because what I was explaining something was whether it might be the furniture. And they don't know whether the furniture here, how original any of it is, if any of it is at all. But the furniture itself seems to have ghosts on it. There's a sofa up in that one sitting room. There's a woman on that one. And the desk, I don't know what's up with the desk, except that it seems like somebody's writing at it, but you don't see the body or feel the body. You feel the hands writing. I'll have to try to draw this stuff. I wasn't spooked. I was just, when I walked into the room, I was thrown back by the chinaware and the books in there. And the curio cabinet seems to have a lot of energy. Old people who have died energy on it. Now, that's that little tour.